Yeah. All right. I'd like to welcome to the show Mr. Andrew Entwistle, and I call him Mr., but he's a young lad, as they say over in England.
Young
How you
lad,
doing?
17 years young. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. It's good to talk to you.
Good stuff.
It seems like you're in a cool. Are you in an attic?
Yeah, I am. I'm 6'4" for context, and I have about this much headroom
Wow.
in my room. So
6'4". Are we playing any basketball or anything?
I used to when I was younger.
Good stuff. That accent. Where's that from?
UK, Scotland. But I have a bit of a posher accent than everyone else for some reason. I don't know why. None of my family speak like this, so
The American ladies dig the accent, so
they do. That's what I've heard. So
let me ask you this. How old are you? Because you look like you're about 15.
I am 17. I'm 18 next month.
Okay. All right. Cool. Are you allowed to do an interview as a 17-year-old? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I can't say that.
All right. So what's the big sport over there? I'm guessing football or what we call soccer.
Football is huge. It's huge. Yeah. Everyone
Gotcha.
plays it.
Do you guys
Hockey as
watch?
well.
Do you guys watch any MMA like UFC?
Yeah, I'd say we do. Some of my mates do, and I kind of keep in touch with like Conor McGregor and
Nice.
Khabib and all that. But I'm more of a boxing guy, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, there's a big UK star in UFC called Darren Till who's done some amazing things in this.
Oh yeah. I follow him on Twitter. He's so funny on Twitter.
Yeah. You kind of sound like him. I guess it's the accent. I'm not sure. That's funny. Have you been outside of the UK? Have you traveled to any other countries?
Oh yeah. I've been France when I was like 10. That was great. I think that was my first time out of the country as well. And then I've been to the Middle East as well. So I've been to Qatar, where the next World Cup is, and Abu Dhabi as well. Holland as well was very good. So.
Wow. Were you scared in any of those Middle East places? How was the security? No?
Not at all.
Speaking of, so what are we? We're in high school now, I'm guessing.
I've just finished.
You graduated.
Yeah, I finished. So in the UK, we finished in March. Yeah, in March, because it was just before lockdown started here. So
normally, I think in the States, we graduate at 18. Are you extra smart, or is that just the way stuff works in the UK?
No, it's I'm just a bit later than everyone else. So in the UK, we start school at 5. So we have primary 1 to primary 7, and in primary 7, you're say 10 or 11. I was 10 I was 11 in primary 7.
Okay.
Just turning 12. I have an August birthday. So there are some 18-year-olds in my year and stuff.
Gotcha.
So we go primary 1, primary 7, S1, S6, finished, and then college or uni or whatever else you want to do afterwards. So
sounds like you're speaking alien tongue to me with S1 and all this stuff, but I think I kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Are you planning on going to college? Did you make any decisions?
Yeah, I did actually. With Scotland, I don't know what they did in the States, but in Scotland, they cancelled exams. So what they're doing is, how you've done that year, that's probably the qualification you're going to get. And I don't know what they're going to do with other stuff, but for me, it hasn't done me any favors at all. So I'm going to college to go and study sound engineering. And I wanted to go to like a separate place in Glasgow, but grades didn't help me out. Yeah.
You guys got it all now. I mean, you could have AirPods, in your ear if you have some long hair covering it up, and you could be asking your friend the question. I mean, you guys got a lot of ways to help your cheat.
Exactly. Yeah, some girls I know have done that with the old AirPod trick, especially because there's no wire. I mean, your day and even my early days, you'd have to hide the wire, wouldn't you? But
so
here we've kind of got. I mean, it was reported today that we had a vaccine sorted, so it's more they've tested it on like 1,000 people, and everything seems to have come back okay.
Nice.
So the UK have ordered 100 million units of that I saw today. So let's hope everything can get back to normal soon as, because it's been 4 months of total craziness.
So you're basically saying that they think they have the vaccine for this.
Yeah.
Cool. That should be breaking news. I feel like we're breaking news right here, and it's a live show. Because we didn't hear that over here. And I pay attention to a bunch of news stations today, and I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So it was Oxford University. I think it was Oxford, and they'd done all the testing and stuff. So.
Do you guys think that Oxford is better than Harvard or Cambridge is? Come on, be honest.
I don't know enough, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I mean, I guess with movies and stuff, it's always, oh, I'm going to Harvard University at the end of the, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, you never really see that about Oxford and Cambridge.
So you have your own podcast? I think I heard you say.
I do the Entwistle podcast.
What is it called?
The Entwistle podcast.
Okay, so just the last name podcast.
Yeah, just my last name. Yeah.
I like it because the Entwistle podcast. If you don't know it's your name, it seems like it could be a play on a couple words. You know what I'm saying? Like Entwisted or End. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of cool.
I'm gonna be honest. I never thought of that, but now you've mentioned that, it's like that's
you
cool,
gotta,
actually. I'm on there by myself, so to give you a bit of context, I was a radio DJ before coronavirus hit, and I've been doing that.
Are you sure you're only 17, dude, with all the stuff you've done in your life?
Yes, I'm very sure. I can show you my birth certificate if you don't believe me. And I remember I went on with my two mates, and it was to discuss football team, and it was the kind of local football team we had, and it was just a kind of 10-minute little segment on the show. And I remember being this 10-year-old kid, and I still remember going into that actual radio station. And I was so taken aback by how like amazing all this stuff was. And even now, like I'm going and doing sound engineering as well afterward.
That's awesome.
So I've always kind of had the interest there. And I went back, my high school, is he with high school and stuff in the US? Is there much like ties with like local radio stations? Or I know there's a lot of local TV in America as well.
Right.
I wouldn't get any face for radio remarks anymore.
Well, come on. You're a little bit more handsome than that. You're not like a Howard Stern or something like that. Do you know Howard Stern over there?
I do know Howard Stern. Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff.
He's what he's done for people in broadcast is amazing with the boundaries he's crossed and stuff. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's more a mix, to be honest with you. Like when I started, I didn't really want to be tied down to one niche because it's difficult to do.
Sure.
Like even before coronavirus, I had plans for like my own football podcast, and obviously that's in football. I couldn't really do anything else, and I can talk and talk forever and ever and ever, and
it's a good
I just yeah that's what I've been told, and I just kind of thought, you know what, my schoolwork's finished. I'll go on with the podcast. I'll see what I can do, and if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't, and that's that. And I'm episode 10's out on Friday, and I've gone through.
Congrats! That's a milestone.
Thank you. You're welcome. I think I'm about 600 odd downloads in. Everything seems to be going smooth so far. I've had a couple of guests on already, so
good.
It's more just kind of gaining momentum and seeing where I can take this.
Your feet wet, seeing what you're comfortable with, what works.
Exactly. But
good.
I think music producer is probably my dream job. Like I'm a pianist. I just love music. A lot of my family are musicians. So my granddad's a pianist. My mum's a pianist. I'm
nice. Pianist. And then they passed down some of those.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So we were on a mutual podcasting site, and that's kind of how we connected. And you were brave enough and put something out there to saying that you would discuss some mental health issues and talk about situations that you were involved with. I think in the hopes to maybe give some education on some things and give your point of view, which to me is a brave thing for especially a young man like yourself to do, because
thank you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because as a kid, I mean, to talk about those things, it's from a vulnerable place. So it takes a brave person to do that. So I kind of commend you. Or you. I say we sometimes when I interview people because I feel like we're kind of in this together.
No, so. We works. We're
so
together.
If you hear we, you know I'm talking probably about you. But so did we have some depression, some anxiety, things of that nature?
Yeah. I'd say. I mean, I come across as this kind of guy who knows it all, but with everyone, there's always stuff that you don't know about them. And I think when speaking to people, I mean, say, for example, I don't know, this time last year or a little bit, so say 18 months ago, I think as a 16-year-old kid, I was in the worst place that I could ever have been in my life. Like, totally rock bottom. And I've always struggled a little bit with mental health problems in my life. Like not so much depression, but more like I was a very anxious kid. Like I remember being 6, 7, 8 years old, like crying when I went to school because I just didn't want to go.
And you remember that feeling, like?
Yeah, no, I remember it. Yeah, I remember it.
So have you been actually clinically or to the point where you had to go to a hospital or maybe go to a psychologist and get medicine or anything of that nature?
Yeah. With medicine, I'm like, I have some mates that have kind of been through the same thing that I've been through, and they always get recommended antidepressants,
Right.
and obviously they speak to me, I speak to them, yada yada yada. We've been through the same thing, so I'm going to try and help anyone out that I can do, right?
Sure.
And just taking antidepressants is just no. I never ever recommend it, because once you get hooked on that and once you rely on pills to make you happy and make you feel like a normal human being, then that's you. That finished.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you something. Do you ever have times in your life where you feel like you get depressed, even though everything in your life is totally normal, nothing bad about it?
Yeah.
Would you say you've ever just flipped?
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm 38 now. And I would say probably in the first 34 years of my life, I could say no. But I would say probably in the last 4 years, I don't know if it's that I'm more in tune with what's going on in the mind, in the body. But yes, there's been times where everything's been going great and I just get hit with what seems like a bout of depression. And I'm just,
Exactly.
yeah.
So 1 minute I'm okay, and the next minute I'm in the worst mood, I could be in.
Yeah.
For me, like I do kind of put on a facade sometimes, especially around my friends, because some of my friends know, but I'm not the type to go, oh, I've had this, I've had that,
Right.
yada yada yada. I've go over it. I just, yeah. Say the AIDS epidemic in the 80s. Everyone was, oh no, oh, we're finished.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then again, look at the rise of HIV and AIDS now. We know so much more about it than we did back then. Just as an example. Yeah.
Sure. We thought handshakes could give AIDS at one point.
Really?
Well, I mean, it was to the point where like they didn't want Magic Johnson, like basketball players didn't want to play with Magic Johnson because they thought by him sweating on them that they could get it.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, there was just a bunch of bad information out there. Nice.
There we go. Mask up, everyone. If you're watching, you in the back, I'm speaking to you.
Yeah, mask it up. So